that time again, Israel. It's the Lord's 54th annual Passover in North Carolina.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do. Huh?
The ISUPK, under Commander General Yohana, will be hosting the Lord's 54th annual Passover in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Convention Center. This is something that you do not want to miss. Make sure that y'all bring the entire family. The Downtown Raleigh Convention Center. For Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Go to isupk.com to purchase your tickets today. $200 per every adult over the age of 17 years old.
We are not the same. No, we not related. I'm not stuck on living. Death is a vacation. My camp undefeated. You cannot debate it. You just want the clout.
The
We just want the
Lord's
grade.
54th annual Passover, April the 1st, is coming down to Raleigh, North Carolina. That's right. Commander General Yohana has done it again. You don't want to miss this. Pull yourself! Pull yourself! Shalom. It's that time.
Back row.
Send my bro a kite quick. Times of war, we ain't forget about you. Keep your light lit. Rappers can't see. Most of them scared to witness. Go and close your eyes. There's one right here for the trenches. Bad bitches, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll probably grip like some dentures. Brothers on them fences. 23 and 1 out. Praying that that commissary hit before it run out. Bitches on the gram, dog filter with their tongue out. Couldn't stay home because they found the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain riding on these whole rappers, my hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory, but I'm a player and there's no my women riding for me. I avoided Maury, I got 2 jets. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses, it's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Gun on my waist, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart grip, my bow tie. Waiting on the squad in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart grip, my bow tie. Living in the sport in my whole life. My whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, it got me on the level supersonic. My bomb atomic, and you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as the Dasani. My wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home and change features. Now she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her, they don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fenty on her face, but it's not concealing the pain, it's a shame. That's why I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like 90s Missy in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that guy flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Taha Wall straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the countermeasures, take pleasures, making an op hurt. Lighters in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed, y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. It can't, the streets need another anthem. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the score in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know life. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in the score in my whole life. My whole life.
Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it, you converted, this is not for you. Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it, you converted, this is not for you. Handle lights and teddy bears, I'm trying to leave your block romantic. Flicking off the hip, I lead a scene, looking like I'm dancing. Ain't one Westworld, best believe, we not gon' stand big titties on a drum, the stick figure looking outstanding. Rip his top with the hands of the Lord, call that God tears. Send a spear right to the sky and watch his front tear. I'm that nigga cause I run with them niggas, so let's get that clear. Don't question who say I'm the GOAT, I tell them God did. In order to be the best, you gotta beat the best. To me that's suicide, of course I sound cocky to a glizzy eater, fuck your pride. Don't need a horoscope to see I'm a star, so fuck your sign. You can believe in anything you want, but as for me and mine, God mode, I am what I am, so let's just keep in mind. Don't wanna be like yeah, Kyrie, they wanna be like I. She said she lost until she found me, and then she found a tribe, and then I make a bout face until she called me out of wine. Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it, you converted, this is not for you. Leave an imprint of my legacy with a spot for you. No way you can endure to the end if you not loyal. Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it, you converted, this is not for you. Leave an imprint of my legacy with a spot for you. No way you can endure to the end if you not loyal. Wartime, no questions asked, we come and find you. His problems, my problems, and I'm standing behind you. Stepping with style, I'm standing on shit in my product. I take on the crowd, tell them all, throw in the towel. Half moon with a silencer, make it sound like a howl. We the shit, we about movements with a growl. Heavy is the head with the crown, when I take it I'm proud. I get the order, bring my sword back wet with a smile, nigga. I'm an Israelite rapper, nigga. Would never hit his wife, but I'll go at you. I make commitments to a gun if I'm talking about a tantrums. Nigga said he a stand-up dude, that mean we laughing, nigga. Jumped on the beat, start snapping, you leaving fractures. Red and green bean, I'm Gucci, you thinking fashion. There goes you for the green, and I ain't talking St. Patrick. You screaming all lives, I'm screaming all guns matter. Keep it biblical, talking in parables, cause it matter. If I say bring Jake up, I'm talking about a ladder. He was the wave till I came with the fire, no John the Baptist. Who cared you did it first? You should be worried about who after. I'm connected in any habitat, shit I adapted. Nose job on a brand new snub is all plastic. That's why I show up the court with jeans on, I'm never slacking. You a rapper turned Israelite, I'm an Israelite rapping. Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it, you converted, this is not for you. Leave an imprint of my legacy with a spot for you. No way you can endure to the end if you not loyal. Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it, you converted, this is not for you. Leave an imprint of my legacy with a spot for you. No way you can endure to the end if you not loyal. Wartime, no questions asked, we come and find you. His problems, my problem. Stepping with style, I'm standing on shit on my product. I take on the crowd, tell them all, throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. Heavy is the head with the crown, when I take it I'm proud. I get the order, bring my sword back wet with a smile, nigga.
Backstage.
You ain't no Israelite, bitch, you a gospelite, bitch.
Fuck you talking about?
If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, a hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm bout it. UPK too solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All they hoes wanna take my piece. All the nigga wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walking around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for them and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Should've took the time, get a damn no. But I see the starter and I show her. She could never get a piece whole. You a dirt ass, rust ass neck bitch with a fake ass jewelry. In Tennessee while I'm touring. It's a Tennessee, but she luring. Yeah, that sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that bit muggin'. I say, if that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, a hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, ain't nothing to me. Base up, boy, I fit a beat. Yeah, AR-223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, that clip run like limousine. I shoot your ass in the spleen. Boy, I bust your ass in the temple. We debating, why the temple? Tell the truth, boy, you's a victim. And you squirm off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass toll fee. I'm a real big priest, nigga. UPK play for keys, nigga. Commanding general get a damn order, but ain't nothing to me to damn kill you. I stuck in his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Boy, like a close combat. Nigga, I popped off for a neck. If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, a hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 women gon' be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy? Stressed by that damn hoe ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you.
When Westworld.
Let's get it.
Don't be sure, tell them make sure. If not, we gon' make war. Clips say it hold 20, but I think it could take more. Grab a stick, fire on your camp, we gon' make s'mores. I ain't satisfied with my spot, then I'ma take yours. No matter how many roadblocks in my way, I'ma break forward. This path I'm on is so damn narrow, I just stay forward. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, I just ate more. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, give me 8 more. Nigga, I don't sugarcoat shit, bitch, I'm straightforward. Don't give a fuck if they don't let me in, I just break doors. Ballin' so hard, they asking what team that I play for. Skimmer who? They ain't stopped making guns when they made yours. Sick with it, feeling like I woke up with stage 4. They ain't want the beast loose, what they opened up the cage for. Endure the pain, been through hard times is what I'm made for. Paid my dues, never left a wage, I just rage roar. So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Stood against all enemies. In high school, you was the man that's lost memory shit. Lost energy, never lost my energy. Never lose control, never losing, dog, I plan to keep. You lose your mind where I'm from, I ain't talking from what you see. I never lost soul, losing times, wasting steady pace, and you off track, I'm on that. You pray to God, hoping he can save you. But there's power about war, and that's a different angle. This another lost cause, and I'm just adding to the list. They not seeing me for that reason, got a flash on the grip. Nigga, big increase. They gon' judge me by my increase, and I'ma keep stepping in these joys to the increase. Just got off the phone with Jacob, and he said it's time to shine. Certified, blue dot, put it on you, now you verified. One West world, bigger than World War III. Do not sleep, it's not cheap, and it's still top 3.
So many chains and gold teeth, this the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Came on boats and then chains, so when I get rich, I'ma grab a boat and 10 chains with 12 ribs from each tribe. And each rib gonna have at least 3 kids. Yeah, I'ma have a deep squad. Been rapping since knee high, now a nigga shack size. Spit that holy fire, when you hear it, you get baptized. One West world, yeah, you niggas know the logo. And I'ma bust it down so the haters see the globe glow. Let's have a feast, let's shine on our enemies. Right in they face, let's blind all our enemies. Cause now we have, but we come from half knots. Throw that cash on the ground, my nigga, let's cast lots. I started from the bottom, birthed out of mud, raised by gangsters, turned out a thug. I ain't give a fuck, burnt out I was, from hitting licks in and out and selling nicks in the drop.
So many chains and gold teeth, this the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Shalom, Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 50.
Shalom. It's that time again, Israel. It's the Lord's 54th annual Passover in North Carolina.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do. Huh?
The ISUPK, under Commander General Yohana, will be hosting the Lord's 54th annual Passover in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Convention Center. This is something that you do not want to miss. Make sure that y'all bring the entire family.
Wait till I get with you. If I gotta go to ground, I'ma shut the town down. I ain't about to stop until I hear said down. All you gonna see is a lot of men down.
The Downtown Raleigh Convention Center. For blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Go to isupk.com to purchase your tickets today. $200 per every adult over the age of 17 years old.
We are not the same. No, we not related. I'm not stuck on living. Death is a vacation. My camp undefeated. You cannot debate it. You just want the clout.
The Lord's 54th annual Passover, April the 1st, is coming down to Raleigh, North Carolina. That's right. Commander General Yohana has done it again. You don't want to miss this. Pull yourself. Pull yourself.
Let me know when we on. We on, sir. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. Yep, we good to go. All right, clap it up. ISUPK, started out at 1 West 125th Street Hall in New York. This is the Brotherhood class, Monday Brotherhood class. I'm Officer of 1,000 because I won. I got, of course, holding it down with me, Officer 500, car, on the ones and twos. Yeah, we good to go. All right, so what we got going on in the world today, man? There's a lot going on. We got China and America getting ready to get it on. Of course, we got Russia and Ukraine ready to get it on. We got a journalist in Ukraine who said pretty much we on the verge of the third world war. And and the one thing that I don't understand is that the fact that Commander General Yahana has been saying this, and UPK has been saying this for so long, and it takes for a journalist to kind of say this for y'all to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Those crazy niggas on the corner been telling y'all that the third world war is at hand, and now you're seeing it starting to unfold right in front of your eyes. And these same crazy niggas that was on the corner has been telling you this. This is here's the crazy part about it. We didn't need councils and we didn't need the things that the oppressor need to say that, you know, the third world war was coming. Of course, all we did was we looked in our handy dandy Bible, the same thing that has been teaching us what would happen in the future, right? You know, for thousands of years, you know. So now we at the point where you see everybody boots being strapped up. You see Ukraine, you know, is going back and forth. Here's the most horrible part about it. Russia is finally starting to feel the defeat. Everybody thought Russia was this superpower. And then now you have this little bitty country like Ukraine just beating up on them. The same thing that happened in the David Goliath story. Mm-hmm. You see the smaller or who's supposed to be the weaker vessel now starting to gain some momentum. You understand? And of course, they're using all the European nations and of course the Western countries as far as the United States and Canada, you know, just to gain this advantage. But this overall is going to become the you know, it's look like it's about to become the beginning of the third world war. Right. You understand? I don't know what do you see?
If I could, sir, mm-hmm. That's exactly what I see, because like you just said, with Ukraine getting all this help from other countries, secretly and openly, you know, it's a hidden agenda there that they're not talking about. They're making it look like Russia's being bullied to Ukraine, mm-hmm. but it's bigger than that, mm-hmm. because that's why they coming to the aid, because of whatever hidden agendas that these other countries got. Mm-hmm. But the problem is this: when you got China linking up with Iran, mm-hmm. well, then Russia is going to be in that fold too. Mm-hmm. So now Ukraine, not only is they begging for stuff from the United States, well, he just addressed the other European countries, mm-hmm. like you said last mm-hmm. week. Mm-hmm. So everybody getting boots laced up is looking that way. They use all other type of distractions mm-hmm. to make you not even really pay attention to this. Right. The death toll in Turkey mm-hmm. then rose to over 36,000 last time I checked on the news.
And that's even another thing. I'm happy you brought that up. You know, in the Bible, it says it's going to be earthquakes and pestilence and wars and rumors of war. Of course, I'm paraphrasing the scripture, but it's going to be wars and rumors of wars, right. Famine and pestilence. We not had this. The COVID virus. Everybody think that the COVID virus was man-made, and the Chinese people made this disease. When you got to realize that the Lord is the author and creator of all destruction on the earth.
That's right.
He's the one who does it. The Chinese man can't do nothing on his own. And guess what? That trickling effect that is because of COVID. Our economy went down. We started having famine. Now what you're starting to see is all these people that's sick. Now you're starting to see the earthquakes. Now you're starting to see the wars and the rumors of wars. The wars is Ukraine is absolutely going to war with Russia. We know that. That's a war. Right. We know the rumors of wars is. I just read that China is they sending fighter, what is it called? The ships with the fighter planes on it towards Taiwan. That is a rumor of war. Not only is it a rumor of war, I'm gonna tell you this: Taiwan is a territory of America. So if you think that China is going to sit here and allow, now they talking about how scrambling on the base over in Taiwan over there because of what China got going on. It is about to go up.
Right.
It is about to go up or go down, whichever one you want. But it's about to go somewhere. Not only that, I'm hearing about these unidentified objects that's being shot down. Now you got 4 what they call unidentified objects that's been shot down. Now, of course, the Bible speaks of chariots. Why won't they show us these UFOs, what they will call it, being shot down? They showed us the balloon, didn't they?
Okay.
They showed us the balloon. They showed us picking the balloon out of the ocean. But soon as you say you got 4 unidentified objects that has been flying around in American airspace and you done shot it down, why ain't you gonna give some reassurance to your people that there's no threat by showing us that you taking care of the situation? Because there's more to it. What the oppressor is starting to realize is all those crazy niggas that was sitting on the corner, maybe you should have just listened to them. Maybe you shouldn't have went over there and said, don't listen to them. They ain't nothing but some broke Negroes that don't got jobs and they out here just willing to just yell at people all day. Because now, just like the Bible says, as much as we cry aloud and spare not none of our people feelings because we love them that much, now we're starting to see everything that we're crying about starting to come into fruition, man. It's starting to come to pass.
Right.
You understand? Slocky, I cut you off. Did you have any more?
No, you ain't cut me off. I was just waiting till you finished. But what you bringing out is so heavy because they saying they shot down some unidentified objects, but I mean, I think, like you said, that's just them, want to reassure their people that everything is all right. We're on top of it now. And then China comes out and say, well, the U.S. been flying balloons in our airspace ever since 2022.
Yeah, I saw that
January. So they making a big deal on what we did. We figured it was okay. They doing it to us. We doing it to them. So, I'm pretty sure they'll come up with a story and they'll get everything together on how they want to address the public and everything like this. But hey, it's like you said. Whatever you want to call it, it's finna go up
or it's gonna go down. One or two.
So whatever you want to call it.
And here's the even more important part of that. The Bible has told blacks and Hispanics and North American Indians to get out of the way of the oppressor, man. The Bible has said, "Come out of her, my people." Like the Bible has told you, envy not thy oppressor. He has like the Bible has gave you remedy to not be destroyed when this destruction is starting to come.
Right.
You understand? It said, when the destruction does come, of course, I'm paraphrasing, you can't, don't be sad. Don't get scared. This is not that time for you. This time is for the time for you to be glad.
That's right.
Because when you see that means that our King Christ is coming and to get his lick back for his people. That means Christ is returning. And there's been thousands of years that prophets have wished that they were capable and able to see Christ return. And if it so happens that Christ does return at this time, you're gonna see something that no other prophet has saw, and that's the end days. That's the end of time. This is the same thing that the disciples asked Christ about. The disciples asked Christ, what to expect, at the end times. We may get a chance to see it. And what you see that's going on in the world right now, the wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, famine, earthquakes, all these things that the Bible said would happen in the end times is now all starting to come together at one specific time. And this is the time for blacks and Hispanics to wake up. It's not the time for you to get fearful. It's not the time for you to say, whatever happens, it just happens. This is the time for you to start wanting to wake your people up and say, your people, blacks and Hispanic brothers, man, coming to the school. If you ever had any other purpose on this earth, it's been to raise your people up, man. We know oppression for over 400 plus years. This ain't the only captivity we've been in. Every time we disobeyed the laws of the Lord and didn't follow the law, statutes, and commandments that was given to us by the Most High, then we failed. We not only did we fail him, we failed in our own society. We failed in everybody else's society, and we became slaves to every person that ran up on us because we had nobody to secure us. The Most High turns his face at us when we don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments, which I understand. Me as a father, if my kids don't listen to what I tell them to do, then when destruction comes to their life, when things that come to harm them, then it's only their fault that is happening because all they had to do was listen to what was said. You understand? All they had to do was take heed to the advice that I was giving them to try to keep them out of danger. The Lord is he's not a father that hates you. He's not a father that wants you to be a drug addict and to kill your brothers and to have sex with whores that you're never going to have a relationship with. I don't know what's wrong with Jakes today, man. These brothers, they go and just put their rod in anything that opens their legs up. Feed me Seymour. Anything that opens their legs up to you, you just gonna go right up in there. And then what's gonna happen is you're gonna end up getting that sister pregnant, and you're gonna inherit a dragon. You're gonna inherit a dragon. She's gonna put you on child support, and the rest of your life is gonna be ruined. You understand? If you could give me Slovakia. If you could give me Jeremiah 2:33. And this is the issue with blacks and Hispanics today, man. We want to join their armies. We join their police department. And you see what happened when we join a police department, right? When we join a police force, we go to jail for doing the same crimes they don't go to jail for. All they do is get suspended, or they get fired from that police force, and then go right down the street to Hickory Hills and go get another job so they can go abuse more blacks and Hispanics. But you have, which don't get me wrong, I'm not saying what these brothers did was right, but just look at how when you try to be your oppressor, what ends up happening. You don't get judged the same way as they get judged. You know why? Because their forefathers run the way people get judged. They the ones who run the laws. Well, in the Bible, blacks and Hispanics, we have a law. And our Father is the author of this law. And he said that he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Now, if you want to be with the people who are going to get led into captivity after what they've done to us, then go ahead. Bible says he who leadeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. And you know that the oppressor led us, they killed us with the sword. So if you want their punishment after you already done had your punishment, then go ahead, join hands with them. Join hands with the oppressor, man. Because I'm telling you, when Christ returns, anybody holding hands with him, they will die with him. I'm sorry to say. Go ahead, read that.
Come. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Israel was holiness unto the Lord.
They were what? Hold on, let me get where you at.
Come, sir.
Two and 33. Right.
You said 2 and 3 or 2 and 33?
2 and 33.
Slovakia, yeah. 2 and 33. This is you hear?
Yeah, I'm there.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, and verse 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
What does that mean? Why trimmest thy way to seek love? Go ahead.
So, like, if I could, sir, is that saying, like, why change who you are to try to be a part of someone else?
Well, who is the thy way? So this is Jeremiah say, why would you trim the ways that your foreparents, that the Lord has given you for love? So yes, of course, on those lines, but of course, you gotta let them know that This is talking about you having your own culture. You having something that's yours already. So
Right.
why take your culture and trim it down for somebody just for the love of some other people?
Right.
Stand read.
Come. Therefore, hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways?
What does that mean? Let me see if you can take a crack at one.
If I could, sir, is that saying like not only like we like has thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways? Like, is that saying like our culture? Not only are we trimming it down to please them, we're showing them how to live our culture. Meanwhile, by us trimming this down, we ain't even living it like we teaching it to the other nations. Is that on the line?
But then think about this. Why did the Lord not want us to have marriages with other nations?
So like it, sir, because that'll take you away from your culture. That'll take you away from your God.
But think about it in today's world. Okay, so say I'm a Christian and my wife is an Arab. Guess what's gonna happen in that household?
You're gonna it's gonna be about Arab religion.
We're gonna worship Buddha and we're gonna worship the white Jesus Christ. We're gonna worship both. Like even though I'm trimming my ways for your love, you're gonna still accept some of my traditions. But the Lord wants you to be 100% for Him. He don't want you to be in somebody else's customs.
Right.
So to trim love for their ways, you don't love the Lord at all. You really don't even care about the Lord. If you would trim down the Lord in what He told you to do, we know what the word love means in the Bible, right? It means what?
Love means the truth, like
follow the law, statutes,
and commandments. Like that's the truth. Like real love is telling someone the truth, and following the law, statutes, and commandments is the truth.
And that's the point. Like in order for me to love you, hell, we on tomorrow, Valentine's Day. Is it tomorrow or the day after? Tomorrow. I think it's I ain't been Valentine's Day in so long. They gonna tell you that loving your wife tomorrow is how you show that you really love her, or loving your husband tomorrow is how you show you really love her. The one thing about the love of the Most High is He demands consistency. This is not no one day out of the year you show me you love me. This is something that the Lord wants you to do all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's why it never works. That's why the Lord knows that if you go into another nation, you're gonna turn your back on them. You know why? Because as soon as you have a day away from not loving Him, you're gonna love somebody else. And this is what's happening in America today. In America today, Blacks and Hispanics love the oppressor. They love the so-called white man more than they love the Lord. So they can sit in church, they can be a part of congregation, but what's really going to happen because of the oppressor and because they love that blonde-haired, blue-eyed bastard is they're gonna sit in the front pew and they're gonna be just as feminine as possible. They're gonna sit there and say God loves everybody, so I can be a homosexual. They're going to sit up on the front row and say, even though you just killed the brother, last night he came to church, you can do whatever you want to in the Christian church. That's why it's not love to the Lord. Guess who is love to? It's love to the white man. Because the oppressor wants you to kill your brother. The oppressor does not want you to have kids. That's why there's Planned Parenthood. That's why there's an abortion clinic in every single neighborhood, in every big urban city there is. That's why when blacks kill blacks, I'm gonna tell you this. In Chicago, at least, and I've heard this story multiple times, and I'm almost at the point where I believe this is true. They just dropping bags of guns off in the hood. Go ahead, Salaki.
Salaki, sir. What you saying is so heavy because if they doing it here in our neighborhood, you know they doing it in other major cities.
Damn right.
Because that's that's how we constantly able to stand to each other. Here we are, we impoverished. We have no money, no jobs, but yet we still have ways to come up with weaponry to destroy each other. So if that's going on here, you know it's going on in Baltimore, the ghettos of California. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a tactic. You know what I'm saying, that they use, and what I believe what they do is they use the bottom tier pressers to do it. Like they foot
the rednecks.
Kind of the ones that really believe that this country is theirs, and what they don't even understand that the higher ups that's over them really know the true story behind the whole situation.
Oh yeah.
So when the fallout come, because it's coming, they probably ain't gonna be letting them in their bunkers as well.
No. You already and not only that, what's so heavy what you saying right now is those are the ones who got the most American pride. Those low ranking, those low bottom rednecks, hell, they love America more than the president himself.
Right.
They love their country because for them, they feel like that, that this country is theirs. No, for some reason they sick in head to think that this country, that because they shook hands with the Indians, that the country should be theirs now. Like I don't see what kind of contract allows that to happen. You shake somebody's hand and they say, well, you take our land, and then we'll go in the corner and y'all don't worry about us no more. Like who makes that type of deal? But you would sit here and try to make us believe, and a lot of blacks and Hispanics believe it, that the Native American Indians and the oppressor shook hands and then the United States was created. Like if you don't know how warfare works, then you would never understand that this land was taken. It was taken by bloodshed. Buffalo Bill was a man who was a part of killing like 9 million buffalo just to starve out the Native American Indians so they didn't have the energy to fight back or clothe themselves. You understand? Like this, what the oppressors have done is warfare. What they're doing now is warfare. It's warfare tactics. But I'm gonna tell you what they won't go to war with. Now they just sat here. I heard Joe Biden say, on the lines of the only reason we haven't sent our own soldiers over to Russia is because we don't want to start a fight. We don't want to start the next World War III. That sounds like somebody who knows what Commander General Yahana been teaching for so long.
Right.
This sounds like somebody who he's not the crazy nigga on the corner.
Right.
He crazy Joe, but he a crazy nigga on the corner. But he's telling you the same thing that the crazy niggas on the corner is telling you, which means maybe the crazy ones ain't so crazy. Maybe you just don't listen. You understand? Go ahead, Slock.
No, Slock, what you bring out is so heavy. Because what I really don't understand, and not just with our people, but people in general, are you that blind to be going through this life and not seeing not just the suffering of our people, but suffering period,
right?
To believe that this is a way of life, that you can make a commercial and put some soft music in it and say, look, we gotta feed America, and you put your celebrities up there to draw people in, and then you the richest country on the face of the earth, but yet you're using the commercial to ask working people to send the money in to help you feed a situation that you created.
Right.
I that's why I don't understand, like, to be honest with you, sir, Salakia, I don't even understand why white people stand up this way. You would have to break that down to me, because for you to stand up for something that is so wicked that even your people, I drive Lyft, and I see more white veterans out there in the street asking for money than anybody. These are your soldiers. They fought for this country. They come home. I pick up a lot of veterans, white veterans from veteran hospitals, and the stories they tell me they would never, if they would have known that this would happen, they would have never laced up their boots to fight for this place.
Good night.
So this one I'm getting from white veterans It's not black and Hispanic. These are white veterans telling me the issues that they're dealing with. They can't get the correct medication. They want them to stay in these they want them to stay in these veteran hospitals where it's a lot of yelling and screaming going on, of course, because soldiers have nightmares. And the guy telling me, I'm trying to tell her, I just need my meds. I need to be at home in peace. I cannot be in here. They're yelling. She's not even understanding. Like all this confusion going on, and yet they get on TV like you just said, and then Joe Biden sounds like a coward.
But Joe Biden is a coward. That's the part of it that a lot of people don't realize. Joe Biden is a puppet too. Joe Biden is an old man. He's senile as hell. He can't stay. Like I don't remember one interview with him when he didn't look like he was finna fall asleep at one point in time. Like Uncle Joe is just bad. He's bad for business for you white folks. I'm just letting you know that now. Now, as much as we hate Donald Trump, I tell you, he loved his people. Trump loved his people. He made us love our people when he got into office, which is something that was a driving force for why you saw the Passover in such gloriness last year.
That's right.
Because black people started to love black people when Donald Trump said that, hey, black people. When he started to differentiate that we were two different people, now you can't sit here and say that God loves everybody because your God is has white skin, blonde hair, blue eyes, just like Donald Trump. And if he don't love everybody, then your God don't love everybody either. This is when you start separating yourself from people, man.
Right.
Because these nations were never meant, and I'm paraphrasing, in the Bible it says that these nations was given borders according to you, blacks, Hispanics, North American Indians, which were the Israelites. So you got your area, and then they got their borders. You understand? But this earth was given to us. Right now, it was given into the hands of wicked. But soon as World War III is over, just believe that Yahweh, who is ignorantly called Christ, is going to rule an earth that is a earth that punishes wickedness. And brothers like Karakar and myself will have a kingdom or a palace, down the street from each other. And I'm
right
over there. He always talk about me. He said y'all always drinking Crown. I'm gonna have some strong Crown. It's gonna be called Crown Gold. You understand?
Right.
And brothers will come over there and we gonna kick it like brothers, but we're gonna be doing this in righteousness, man.
Damn right.
You understand? So go ahead, read give me Proverbs 23 and go to 27. Matter of fact, give me Galatians 5 and go to 13.
Galatians 5 and 13.
If anybody got questions, comments, concerns, please type it into the chat. If I can't get to it today, if I don't see it by accident, Salakia, and I'll definitely make sure I come back to it next week. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please type it into the chat.
You ready? So you
Yep, I'm ready when you are.
Come. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5 and verse 13.
Whenever you ready.
For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty.
It says, but who?
Brethren, ye have been called unto liberty.
What is liberty?
Is that like a form of freedom or something?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. We know the song. Fortunately, we know the song. My country, 'tis the sweet land of liberty. This is supposed to be freedom. This is they talking about brothers being, even though they have the freedom. Go ahead.
Come. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh.
It says, but only don't use the fact that you're free to satisfy your flesh, man. Because you have freedom, don't mean that you should be free and go celebrate Valentine's Day, which you finna go celebrate tomorrow.
Right.
It doesn't mean go celebrate Christmas and go do all these vain and wicked things because you have the freedom to do it. Because the Most High ain't killed you for it yet, don't mean that you can still do it.
Right.
Because to you is if If God didn't like it, then he should just kill me for doing it. Or he just, I don't feel like he punished me. You are punished. You punished as a people, man. The reason why you feel like that the Lord has not punished you is because you're selfish. The Bible said that the Most High is waiting for us to come together as a nation that's not desired, a whole nation. We're desired now by the white man because we're doing everything the white man wants us to do. We're drawing ourselves. It's easy. If I had an enemy and I can watch my enemy just kill themselves and I don't have to do no work, hell, I'm all for it. If I start seeing white people just shoot themselves in the street, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to eat popcorn.
All right.
I'm going to eat popcorn because this is a war that I don't have to fight. This is a war that from the inside out is killing self. This is what the oppressor looks at when they see blacks and Hispanics in these neighborhoods. They're watching a war being won without them having to lift a finger, without them having to do anything about it. First, it was the police killing the oppressor police killing blacks and Hispanics. Now you have our own people as police officers who's supposed to serve and protect the neighborhood. Now they're killing their own people. So why do white police officers got to kill us now when we'll kill ourselves? It doesn't even make sense. Who cares anymore?
That's right.
The Most High's his proposition for us, he's given us one proposition. Two. To follow the laws and commandments and to join together with your people and get out of the nations that does not require you. They don't care for you. The Lord is here giving us a remedy on how to get out of the destruction that we're in, and we just don't listen because those crazy niggas on the street, the same ones who told you about the Third World War, the same ones who told you about famine and pestilence and all these things that are happening to this day, you just won't listen to them.
Right.
You just won't listen to them. So here's my proposition to you. Show me where Commander Johanna has said something wrong, and then I will show you why we still follow him because it hasn't happened. Everything that he says is coming to pass, and this is not coming from him. This is not from his mouth. This is not from him. This is from Christ. This is from the Bible. All he's doing is repeating the pages on. We got a King James Version right here. All you gotta do is look in it.
Right.
All you gotta do is flip the pages. See, the problem is your Christian pastor has never showed a lot of these things that Commander Johanna has researched and found out for himself. And going through back, from priests and prophets that were showing him certain things since 1969, the Isupk has made a breakthrough in multiple of these chapters that's in the Bible that your Christian pastor can never break down. Go ahead.
So like if I could, what you saying is so heavy, sir, when it comes to what the Christian pastors have done. And I think that by us following, they don't understand. Mm-hmm. We follow General Johanna because he followed
Christ,
mm-hmm. which is in the scriptures. I think our people are so damaged from the brainwashing that like going to church, you're so used to following the pastor. Mm-hmm. You're not like he's not, like you say, he's not teaching you anything, but you're following him. Mm-hmm. So I think in our people mind, they think we just listening to General Johanna, which they're not listening. He's coming directly out of the Bible.
And that's the point. What you're saying is so on point and it's so right, because even a Christian church, they would call us man pleasers because we always saying Commander Johanna. But the one thing we know about Commander Johanna is this: he follows Christ.
Right.
Your Christian pastor does not follow Christ. Right. If there's a homosexual that walks into your church and you allow them to be in church and continuously come to your church as a homosexual, you are not following Christ. If you allow a poor man to walk into your church and you do nothing for that poor man except for take his last $30 that he probably didn't have to eat at home, you are not following Christ. You gotta realize something. Christ took he took a sacrifice out of the ultimate sacrifice.
Right.
I say this all the time. Christ wasn't riding around here on no horse. He wasn't riding around here on this valiant horse with gold and, you know, all these jewels on. No, Christ came to be like his brethren. That's what he said he wanted to do. He said, Salaki, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, I pray to be made like my brethren. He wanted to be made just like you and I. Right. He wanted to be able to feel the pains of the earth like you and I, so he can understand what it takes to live perfect, even when you're in turmoil. So we can't say that you can't do it because you in the ghettos and you in the barrios, and you can't say that because I don't have nothing to eat that I can't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. You can't say because I grew up in poverty I can't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Christ did it just like in the situations that we in right now. Right. He wanted to be made like that, so he can show you that whatever sacrifice you have to make, you can still follow the Lord, man. So I don't want to hear anybody have complaints and say, well, you said that because you have a house to go to. Christ, tell me where it said Christ had a place to live. Christ was traveling, going to see his brothers. He was meeting people. Christ was good. Christ was on the blocks and in the streets. You understand? Right. Slakia. This any more on that?
Just a little bit more, sir.
Go ahead.
Come. By love, serve one another.
Where you at? Start at the top again.
Come. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5 and verse 13. Mm-hmm. For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty.
You've been called to you have some freedom. Go ahead. But he gonna tell you what not to do with this freedom. Go ahead.
Come. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh.
Don't use your freedom to do whatever the hell your flesh tell you to do, man. That you thinking homosexuals, Slack. I don't know if we can even say homosexuals. If I can, don't cut me. I'm sorry. Don't cut me out Facebook. I don't know.
Wow, you have to say LGBT.
You gotta say LGBTQ or whatever. So, you know, you think that you can have, you know, homogenous sex or that's not heterosexual sex. This is something that is of the flesh. It is something that for the most part, it's a trait of you being sexually abused as a child. We know this because we've studied this on multiple occasions, multiple levels. I know because I talk to people who aren't, you know, in that fashion of life, and they've told me themselves. I had an uncle who used to rape me. I had an auntie who used to rape me. Men who get raped by they aunties and cousins, girl cousins, they are in the same mode too. They the ones who don't treat women like nothing.
Right.
You understand? That's how they get their lick back. For what you've done to me, I'm gonna treat every woman that I ever have an encounter with like how I felt you treated me. And that's how they get their lick back. So go ahead.
Come. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another.
By what?
By love serve one another.
What does it mean that by love? So now you don't worry about the flesh, but by love, which we just said what love was, right?
Come.
What is love?
Law, statutes, and commandments.
Following the law, statutes, and commandments, love one another. So what is this saying?
So like if I could, sir, what this is saying, if you follow the law, statutes, and commandments, then you know how to be brotherly to a brother, you know how to be sisterly to a sister. Like you know how to help one another without the flesh being involved, which means that you have self-control. You don't have to go behind your flesh desires to be able to deal with your brother, your sister. You see a brother in need, you can help a brother in need. You see a sister in need, you can help them in need. Love ain't got nothing to do with sex. Sex is sex, love is love. Now, if you're married, then it walks hand in hand depending on if you understand following law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
But if you don't follow law, statutes, and commandments, going out to get a box of candy and some balloons, whatever that day coming up, that is not love. That's you under the oppression believe in and listening to what they tell you what's love and when you supposed to express that and not. So
Damn right. Damn
that's
right.
what that is.
No, that's an excellent breakdown of that part too, because
The water.
here's what I do realize. Here's what I do realize, and I'm starting to realize more and more being in the truth. Sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time, love hurts.
That's right.
Love is not something that feels good. I remember General Hyman broke down a class one day so rough, so hard, and it's a hard pill to swallow for mostly women. It's a hard pill to swallow for mostly women. Men, we understand after a while, but it's a hard pill to swallow that love doesn't feel good. And why do I say love doesn't feel good? When everything feels great in a relationship, you don't care if a person, you think about, does this person love me? You don't care. All you know is you feel good. But the time to know that you love somebody is when everything is going bad. That is the time to show the ultimate love that you have for a person. That's a time to resist temptation. That's a time. That's why love is following all statutes and commandments, because to be honest, to follow all the laws, statutes, and commandments now that we in this oppressed society, it's rough. It's hard to do it. It don't feel good all the time to wake up and know that you have to do everything perfectly for the Most High.
Right.
Because it's rough. It's hard, mentally draining. But the way we show our love to the Most High is by just doing it.
That's right.
By just doing it. You know you love your husband by when he tell you something, just do it. That's how you love him.
That's right.
Your kids love you by when he tells you to go clean your room, you just do it. That's how you know you love someone.
That's right.
Because even when it feels like it hurts, even when it feels painful, you just do it. You know why you do it? Because he's a man over you. This is why we follow the Most High. We follow the Most High because he has authority. We follow Christ because he has authority. We follow Captain Mawquad because he has authority. He follows Commander Juliana because he has the authority. This is not something that we teaching women to do for us. This is something that we teaching ourselves to do for the right cause, which is there's men who have authority over us that's going to make sure that we continue to build this nation up.
Right.
I can't build this nation up if I don't know how to listen and follow orders.
That's right.
These sisters in this school, I'm going to tell you, these sisters is genuine. These sisters are like no other sisters in the world. I'll put them up against anybody. Because these sisters know one thing, that there's a strong black man that they will not let the oppressor bound. They will not let let the oppressor bind their household, and that's an honorable woman.
That's right.
That's the woman in Proverbs that Proverbs keeps talking about, who's good with their hands and will do all these things and make sure that her family is successful. That is the women in the Isupk of managing Johanna. That is what we building in here. But we also building men that's just as valuable because they know how to follow an order, man. You understand?
Right.
Is anything else on that? I think it's a little bit. Yeah, we'll go to 14.
14?
Yep.
Come, verse 14. For all the law is fulfilled in one word.
It said what?
For all the law is fulfilled in one word.
It's saying that all the law is fulfilled in one word. We just talked about this. Read.
Come. Even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
This says that all the law is fulfilled in one word. You know what I'm saying? And when we say word, we mean, this sentence, this passage. And it says that thou shalt love thy neighbor like you love yourself. Why is all the law fulfilled in just this one passage? Because of course we know that the scripture said, the law it hangs on love God and with all your heart, mind, soul, and all that, paraphrasing. And then it says love thy brother like you love yourself. So now this is saying for all the laws fulfilled in one word, and that's to love thy neighbor like you love yourself. Why did it say that?
So like if I do, sir, because if you love yourself, you following the law, statutes, and commandments.
Damn right.
So what you're gonna do to show love to your brother or your sister, you're gonna stay within the law as far as when you're dealing with your brother or your sister.
But how do you break this now? Because we just talked about what love is. This is what you always have to do, and this is why I used to forget this all the time until I started realizing something. When you talk about love in the Bible, anytime, it's always talking about righteously loving someone. You can love a person in lust. You can love a person in lust if it's not according to the Bible.
Right.
But when you talk about the Bible, it always means, when you talk about love, it always means doing something the way that the Lord asks you to do it.
Right.
So love, if you love your neighbor like you love yourself, that means you're going to make sure that you don't break the commandments when it comes to your brother.
That's right.
You won't break the commandments when it comes to your wife.
That's
You
right.
won't break the commandments when it comes to your children. Hell, you won't break the commandment when it comes to different nations.
That's right.
Like, in order to love, your woman like you love, because sisters is brothers. We say brotherly or sisterly love. Of course, your sisters is conjoined. They not our brothers because, of course, we don't go to war with them.
Right.
But those sisters still our family, and we have to love them the way that the Lord told us to love them as well. It said, "Do not make any whores of the daughters of Zion." If you make whores of your sisters, you don't love them. You hate them. If you sit here and you posting pictures of half-naked women on your Facebook page, you don't love your sisters, man. You understand? If you want to go out and have you a stripper, you think you love her. You lust her. You think you love her. Her body look good. She showing everybody in the world. Everybody loves her because everybody gets to see her.
Right.
I don't want no sister everybody get to see, man. Cover your tail up. And then when we get home, I'm love you from behind at the crib.
Right.
But I don't want everybody to see you. You understand? That's not making whores of the daughters of Zion. You understand? Loving your brother like you love yourself means don't go out there and kill your brother because his baby mama is your ex. You know what I'm saying? And now every time you see him, it make you want to fight him because you done popped his ex woman up. Like, come on, man. Like, the point of it is, in order to build this nation up into something different, we have to try something different. Trying something different means, how about try not doing the same thing the oppressor showed you how to do to get what you want by killing and robbing and stealing and doing all the things that is so wicked on this earth, man. This is the way they've taught you how to deal with your issues. They taught you how to kill your brother, and that's how you get your woman back. When in all reality, when you kill your brother, he's gonna die, you're going to jail, and she's gonna be with some other nigga. Now 2 lives are lost. This is what the American society has built up for us. The oppression that once had us in shackles and chains. Now the shackles and chains have come off, and now we're still destroying each other without even having a coach on the sideline. Now we just doing it because we want to.
Right.
You understand? Did you have something, Sly?
No, sir. I mean, what you said, you pretty much summed it up, and that goes in the guidelines with what just happened when they killed the brother.
Right.
Because it was over. The brother was with one of the cops' ex-woman. So when they he couldn't get past it, and it's a sad situation. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because in his mind, I guess once they beat the brother down, he sent several pictures out to people. So I'm guessing in his mind, this makes him feel like not as embarrassed, I want to say, because you know how brothers get. Mm-hmm. Brothers lose their woman to another man, and you feel some kind of way.
Yeah.
So you have to know how to get past that without bringing harm to your brother. I mean, the way I was raised, you know what I'm saying? I was raised by, some straight up players.
Now, we know you, Big Lord.
And
I gotta always call you out, Big Lord. He was Big Lord in the world. He ain't Big Lord now. Now he's car. This brother he moves mountains in his school, man. It does whatever is asked of him. But I gotta mess with you.
Ain't no sweat, sir. No, but You know how it go. Brothers told me, look, she want never yours. If it go that way, she ain't never yours.
Right.
You know, if I gotta beat her, I don't need her.
Damn right.
That's
Damn
what
right.
I was raised on, you
Damn
know.
right.
So
man, you was raised around pimps then.
pretty much, you know, but you know, I
You
don't
got some
like to
good
glorify that, you know, because the game was, you know, kept close to the vest because, you know, in the long run, it helps you pick. Before I came into school, you know, you would pick women that was like soldiers, basically, because when you raised like that, you got a woman, you tell her, look, this is what it is, this is what I do. She had to prove that she was devoted to you. She really did, because, you know, you out if you're not. And this one about, well, I can't wait to sleep with the next one, because, you know, after a while, you get to learning, like, man, look, the sex is going to be there. Where the money at? Well, we need to get things done. What is it? And I ain't talking about putting you on the track or none of that. I'm just saying, hey, you gonna support me? Then you support me the right way. If I'm trying to build a business or something, then you supposed to have my back.
Damn right.
You know, I'm not gonna hold you out. I'm gonna say, man, look, my girl helped me build this, man, when I was down and out, like brothers do when they come home. How many brothers you know, sir, that was gone and they woman really held them down until they came home?
I don't know one.
See, you don't. I know a couple.
You know why I don't know one? Because of course, of course, we have probably like 10 years on each other as far as where we grew up at. You know what I'm saying? My grow up was in late 80s, early 90s. So in the time where I was growing up as a teenager, we were just getting that borderline of sisters who really started to become independent. They started to, like, we had sisters that was selling drugs on a block that was one of the heavy hitting drug sisters. Like, you had brothers, but we knew it was like 2 or 3 sisters that they had all the drugs. So they was independent. They were doing things on their own. They wasn't like, sisters wasn't caring about men like that. It was like, well, these things gonna get locked up, or they're not gonna be here. We're gonna take care of ourselves. That's when that era started to come in. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only difference between, like, your era is probably more of a where you still had some sisters that was willing to be down, you know what I'm saying, and hold their man down. These sisters was like, man, I know where the drugs at. Well, he gonna be locked up. They gotta take care of our kids, so I'm just gonna hold the block down type of deal and be independent. So
You're right, because that was my transition. The few that was left, that was loyal, coming into the transition of the independent ones. The couple that was left, I just happened to be connected to a couple of families that they were loyal. You know what I'm saying? They went, and you know, we ain't gonna go into details.
Man, I think you got mob ties. Like, what's the brother name? What's the brother name over there in Texas, man? What's the name?
You talking to Jay Prince?
Yeah, you might got mob ties, man. We gotta watch out for you.
You know, you just, you know, your family, you know, you grew up around, and I observed a lot of things when I was younger, which helped me stay out of prison, because I listened to the OGs when they came home, which was encouraging, because when they went and they did time in prison, and for me to be listening and for OG to tell me, you know, stay smart, it encouraged me, because that at that moment, now he just did a stretch. He telling me to stay smart. It encouraged me. So it's like, okay, ain't nothing wrong with being smart, you know. But, you know, I just happen to know a couple of women that they just happen to be loyal, and, you know, you didn't ever see no other men around. I have an auntie that even when her and my uncle split, he made sure the mortgage stayed paid. He wasn't, you know, he was gone. He made sure the mortgage stayed paid, all the bills. And my auntie never brought another man up in there, and never put another man in front of my little cousins.
Good night.
Never. And Kanawaf could tell you this. She never did it. And I honored that. I'm like, see, that right there, even though I know she was hurt, you know what I'm saying? but she had enough in her, like, you know, he making sure this house is paid and all this. Why would I bring another man up in here around my kids to try to prove something?
And not only that, what makes the sister so valiant is this. It's about her bringing another man in there. It's about the understanding of, like, your children have to watch this. Like, how can you give your children one person that they should look up to and look for guidance and all that, and then you bring another one in there? You confuse children like that,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And any good woman understands that you bringing multiple men out of a house so confuse your children. It confuses kids. Like, consistency means everything when it comes to children. They sponges, but you don't want them to be sponges, because a kid will be just like a woman who has multiple men.
Right.
They'll try to take a little bit of everything and soak it into their life. If a child doesn't have somebody who's consistently giving them something that's benefiting them, they're going to take a little bit from everybody, and they're going to become confused, and they're going to believe that my daddy ain't shit because he ain't never there, right. Or they're going to believe that he can't tell me nothing because he ain't here when I'm doing this, and when I'm doing that, he's going to sound just like who? He's going to sound just like their mama.
Right.
And this is why it's so right for a woman to hold her ground and stand her ground, even when you in in the deep waters with your husband, because you see that he, has another liking to another woman and all that, because your job is to make sure that those kids are good.
Right.
Whatever you and your husband got going on, that's a whole different thing. That's between you, your husband, and the Most High. But those children should never see a different leadership change up on them because you can't hold your emotions, because your man like another woman.
Right.
Men been like other women for I don't know how long, Car.
Probably the beginning of the time.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't see how you being emotional and being mad and upset and being angry and breaking his window. I don't see how that ever changed anybody's mind. So now maybe the issue is you should change you. Change the way you deal with things. Change the way you see things. Sometimes, a lot of, and we going into Valentine's Day tomorrow. And Valentine's Day, of course, is for what we call the main chick. The main chick gonna get her Valentine's because it's just the side chick already got her Valentine's Day probably last weekend. She Saturday, Friday, third, whatever day. The side already got her part of the Valentine's Day, so you're gonna spend tomorrow. You want to go to the Gino Steakhouse. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go get the biggest steak in the world. You're gonna buy her all this watered down ass alcohol that doesn't even get her drunk. And you're gonna still have to go to the liquor store on the way to the crib, and then y'all gonna pop a pill so y'all can have the greatest sex you ever had in life. And then tomorrow you're gonna hate each other.
Right.
Tomorrow you're gonna hate each other. Tomorrow you done left your kids over your mama's house. You're gonna hate each other tomorrow. So when you have the oppressor that teaches you how to love your woman, this is why you fail. Because when God tells you how to love your woman, he says that you should love your woman like you love you. If I love my woman like I love me, I want to be loved every day.
Damn right.
I don't want to be loved on one day. You can't give me a day where I'm gonna say, you know what, love me today. Tomorrow we just chill. But today, today is the day I want to be loved. Like, give me a steak. It's like I want steak and baked potatoes every day.
Damn right.
I work my ass off for it.
That's right.
My ribs should get treated like a princess every single day because she works for it. You understand? I don't need no oppressor to tell me how to love my woman. But of course, blacks and Hispanics do for some reason. Somebody's gonna be dressed up like a candy box full of chocolates in the morning with nothing on under it. They're gonna bust in their room with flowers and petals all over the bedroom, and you're gonna look ridiculous. All right.
Right.
You're gonna look ridiculous because a white man has showed you how to dress up like a damn clown to love he's teaching you how to love your woman. And then tomorrow, as soon as the 15th hit, a lot of people get paid on the 15th. As soon as the 15th hit, she's gonna take all your money. She's gonna go kick it with her sisters and her cousins because she can't stand to be around your ass unless you give her something. You understand? Slot. Read, if you could, give me Matthew 12:6.
Come.
Let's see if I can just start at 6 or let me see where I want to start at. Oh, I'm sorry. 12:6.
12:6.
Mm-hmm.
You there?
Yep.
Come on. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12 and verse 6. But I say unto you that in this place, one greater than the temple. Verse 7.
Hold on. All right, yeah, go there.
Come. Verse 7.
Mm-hmm. No, 6. Start at 6 again.
Come. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12 and verse 6. But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple.
What does it mean that in this place there's one greater than the temple? The temple is a place. Of course, this is a temple. We call this, this would be considered part of our temple. But there's somebody greater than this place that we go to acknowledge the Most High. And there's a person that's more greater than that. And who is that?
It's like, sir, that be Christ.
That'll be the Most High.
The Most High.
This is Christ talking. So you can't say this is Christ if Christ is the one saying it.
Salak, yeah, right.
He's saying, but there's one greater than this temple, right? So the stuff that we do the Christian church tell you that you can praise the pastor and praise the pulpit. You can do all these things, but there's only really one thing that deserves our love and our care and our cherishment, and that is the Most High.
Right.
You understand? There's only one that is greater than the temple, and that is the Most High. Read.
Come, verse 7. But if ye had known what this meaneth, I will have mercy and not sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. So if you knew this already, then I wouldn't have had to come and sacrifice.
Right.
I wouldn't have had to do what I'm doing right now if you already had known this concept that there was somebody that is not about the altar, it's not about the temple, it's about the Most High.
Right.
If you would have known, I wouldn't have to sacrifice. Read.
Come. Ye would not have condemned the guiltless.
What is the
guiltless?
The guiltless. Look up guiltless. Look up guiltless. And of course, it has something to do with somebody being guilty. Of course, a lot of time, and the reason Christ and the Pharisees and Sadducees had a lot of beef is because the Pharisees and Sadducees blamed people guilty because they were the judges of Judah at the time. And this is saying, well, if you knew this concept, you wouldn't have had to blame some of these people that you put on trial and judge them as guilty. But read what guiltless means.
Come. This is the definition of guiltless. Free from guilt, innocent, having no knowledge or experience.
So this is why I said the Pharisees and Sadducees, they were judging people and calling them guilty, even though they were not guilty. This is why it says the guiltless. They were less of guilt, but because at that time they were in power, they were judging people however the hell they wanted to judge them. It was just like America, really. It's like, well, if he comes from this family, then I'll make sure he's not guilty. I'll make sure that we don't punish him for it. Or I'll make sure the judges judge that he didn't do the right thing. He didn't do the wrong thing. It's the same way we do right now in our neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers don't get killed because they have people in high places. So they don't get judged the way the people who don't have people in high places have, because they someone who says, look, don't do that, man. That ain't even right. That's my nephew. Don't do that. This is what the same thing that Christ was saying, like, you know, these brothers was guiltless, but yet they were still condemned. They were still condemned even though they had no guilt. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 8. For the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath day.
No, you can drop that. You can drop that. Which is so heavy, man. And even to this day, that's what's crazy, because, you know, even the leaders of our communities now are doing the same thing to us. Some of us brothers, that brother was guiltless. That brother did nothing wrong. Tyree Nichols, he did nothing wrong. He didn't do nothing but get a traffic stop. And because, you know, these police officers had the power to do things, they did them, and they even though they had the power to do it, which they wasn't supposed to do, they still did. They condemned that brother for being guiltless. This is what the scripture is talking about. You have men who are in authority that are condemning men for being guiltless. They have done nothing. Christ was condemned and he was guiltless. This is why this is why he understood the concept, because Christ did nothing wrong, yet he was condemned for doing something wrong. No one can tell him what he did wrong, but yet he was still condemned for it. It's just like the men in Isupk. We are condemned for doing nothing wrong. They call us the crazy niggas on the corner. What have we done other than said, love your people? But yet, you know, the police department, they can kill, they can beat, they can tase to death every black and Hispanic man that they encounter. They're not considered a hate group. But as soon as you get in front of, you know, men of the Lord who say, love your people, don't do drugs, don't have sex with your brother's wife, don't do all these things that defame the Most High, then we're a hate group. What makes us a hate group more than the police department? Can anybody answer that question for me? If you have an answer, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. You have an answer to it. How we are the hate group, the Isupk under Commander Johanna. How do we become the hate group? But the police department is not the hate group. The stop and frisk guys is not the hate group. You show me that part, and then, you know, the biggest thing about it is, if you ask any oppressor, he's gonna say, no, they're not a hate group. They're gonna say that. Go ahead.
Salakia, sir. I'm not gonna put no specific names out there, but if you ask a certain fake Israelite group, they're gonna say he should have just listened to the police.
I already know what you're talking about too.
So I mean, Salakia, if I could, it shows you how deep the brainwashing on us is. For us to be out there, it's like the scripture that you just had me pull. This ties camp as far as the guiltless. Not to say our people walking around innocent, but we have people walking around that is not aware of the truth. So this is why we out in the streets bringing this out, so we can wake those people up, because it is some people out here honestly been misled by the Christian church, so they're not aware of what they really should be doing. Like, you got people out here that really believe they serving the Lord according to what the pastor telling them to do.
Well, if you read chapter 7, exactly what you said is what that meant. It says, but if he known what this meant, I would have mercy and not sacrifice. Like it said, like, if you know that this Christian pastor was destroying you right now, then I wouldn't have to sacrifice. I wouldn't have to sacrifice myself, because at the end of the day, we understand that the Christian pastor has jammed us up in a real bad way, man. So what you're saying is absolutely heavy, man. It just hit right there on top with 7. I'm like, man, what you're saying is there right here is right. Christ is saying it. So any brother who think that we sit here just talking, we saying exactly what Christ is saying. The brother just broke down what Christ just said in the beginning of the 7. Slocky, go ahead. You keep going. My bad.
Nah, you too wild because what you were saying was so heavy as far as like they trying to call us a hate group. The things we're doing in the world, we came out to be in the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm a hate group, why would I need to come out of the world? I would just keep doing what I'm doing. If I hate my people so much, why would I try to stop them from going as far that I've ever went before? I might as well just stay doing what I'm doing.
Well, they don't call us a hate group because we hate our people. Why do they call us a hate group?
Salagi, sir, because we don't love everybody.
That's the point. And because we call the white man the devil that the Bible speaks of. Now we're a hate group. But when we say, when we dropping the forks and dropping the fives and we dropping the Latin kings and when we doing all that, when we showing the hatred toward our own people, we're not a hate group. We're not a hate group. Do you understand what I'm saying? But as soon as you say love thy brother like you love yourself, as soon as you say that white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, which is the truth, we ain't the only people who say this. Africans say this. Arabs say this. Every other Asians say this. Everybody knows that the white man is the deceiver on earth. As soon as we say it, we're what else you want me to say, man? Like, do we not understand that this is an agenda against blacks to not come together? We're not a hate group. We're a group of love. We just love our own people. And in order to love our own people, we have to hate everything else that everybody else's culture presents to us. Because how can I be into my own culture if I'm stuck trying to defend yours? There's just no way I can do it.
That's right.
Go ahead, Slock.
That's good.
You good?
Come on. So you want another scripture? Because that was it on 7.
All right, yeah. Let me get Slock. Yeah. Give me Jeremiah 2:33.
We went over that one. That was the first one.
No, we didn't. No, I mean Proverbs 23 and 27. I'm slacking that one.
Proverbs 23 and 27.
Yeah. While y'all finna go and celebrate Valentine's Day, y'all finna go treat y'all dragon just so beautifully. Y'all finna probably treat them to champagne and lobsters and shrimp and all these different things. And all they're going to do is drag you down into the dirt, because any woman who believes that one day out of a year is supposed to be hers, that's vanity. Not only is it vanity, is for a man, it's so much of a drain of energy, because this brother works his butt off, and if he don't give you the right gifts, then this can go totally south. If he don't get you what you wanted, because every time you look on Facebook on Valentine's Day, you got every woman posting everything that they got for Valentine's. This is my hubby got me. They want to show rose petals on their beds, candles. They want to show you. They want to show what they man did to show that they love them. You understand? And this scripture is just showing you how much that this is so much of a pitfall. This is something that women has always done. Any woman that lives in vanity, that's outside of this ISUPK, there's some women in the ISUPK too, don't get me wrong. You women, y'all looking at y'all sisters and cousins, Facebook and Snapchats, and y'all damn near ready to lead the truth right now. Hold your post as being one of these men's real, man. That shit don't matter. We love you every day. You understand? Read.
Come on, sir. Salaki. If I could, could we start at 26?
Let me get that with you.
Come on.
All right, I'm ready.
Come on. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 23 and verse 26. My son, give me thine heart, and let thine eyes observe my ways.
Observe what?
My ways.
Now, of course, we are the sons of the Most High, of course. And he's telling you in this chapter, in this verse right here, to give the Lord your heart. You understand? And make sure that your eyes is towards his ways. Not towards no ways of this woman or the ways of the world or the oppressor or the white man. His ways. You understand? What is his ways? His ways is to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, to love the way that he said love, not love the way that Cupid told you to love. This, yeah, here's my thing. Y'all following this little baby with wings telling y'all how to love somebody. You understand? When a grown man told you how to love your woman and you won't listen to him. Go ahead.
Khan, verse 27. For a whore is a deep ditch.
A whore is a what?
A deep ditch.
Everybody knows what it means to go into a deep ditch. It's hard. You can't get up out of it. It's hard to get out of a deep ditch. Really hard to get out of a deep ditch. There's a lot of brothers that's dealing with a woman that it's hard to get away from. You're in too deep. That's the phrase that's usually used. I'm in too deep. You know what I'm saying? A whore is a woman. A whore is a woman that'll put you in a deep ditch, man. Read.
Khan. And a strange woman is a narrow pit.
What is a strange woman? Go ahead.
So like it, sir, that could mean two things.
Mm-hmm.
For one, a strange woman could, of course, be a woman outside of your nation.
Correct.
But of course, a strange woman could be a woman inside your nation that has adopted the philosophies of the women outside of your nation.
Damn right. Give them a hand, man. That's absolutely correct. And these type of women will be a narrow pit to you. What does it mean to be in a narrow pit? A narrow pit means it's on both sides. It's closed up. It's like you in a tight spot. You jammed up. We say, I'm jammed up. You know what I'm saying? They tell you to celebrate. You can't celebrate Christmas. I mean, we tell you can't celebrate Christmas. You go up in the house and like, go celebrate Christmas. I'm taking the kids and we going to mama's house. You jammed up. You in a tight spot now. Now you have to see what type of man you are. Are you the type of man that's going to stand your ground? Or are you going to listen to what this woman tells you to do?
Right.
You understand?
Khan. Verse 28. She also lied in wait as for a prey.
She what?
She also lied in wait as for a prey.
This ain't talking about lying with your mouth. This is talking about lying. You ever seen a lion nest wait for her prey in the bush? Say this woman, man, she's lying and waiting for the person that she can go and destroy. Go ahead.
Khan. And increasing the transgressors among men.
And then this, so of course we know whores. That's why the Bible said, make no whores of the daughters of Zion. Because when these women become whores, they make transgressors of us. We see on the streets every day. Man, that's his baby mama, but man, I sure do this to her. I heard she do this. I heard she do that. And her knowing these things, man, she's making transgressors because we just read the script saying, love thy brother like you love yourself.
Right.
And if you love your brother like you love yourself, you will not have sex with your brother's woman.
That's right.
Having sex with your brother's woman, you have transgressed against the law. That is transgression against the law because that is a law to not do. And if she allows you to do it, this is what this scripture is talking about. She increases the transgressions among men because she's allowing men to transgress for her own cause. You understand? Read.
Khan, verse 29.
Mm-hmm.
Who hath woe?
He said, who have war? Woe means war. Understand? Read.
Who hath sorrow?
Who has sorrow? Who's sad? Who has war? Who's sad? Read.
Who hath contention?
Who has contentions? Read.
Who hath babbling?
We already know what babbling is. Who talk too damn much? Who talk too goddamn much? We talking about all these. We talk about all the characteristics of a woman who is not a woman that any man would want. Read.
Khan. Who have wounds without cause?
Who have wounds without? What does it mean to have wounds without cause?
So like, sir, it's just saying like, I didn't do nothing to be hurt like this.
That's exactly what it means. You hit it right on it. That's exactly right. This is a woman playing victim. She's playing victim. This is happening to me, and I didn't do nothing to him. This what happens in in Black and Hispanic communities right now. Why do you think the police get called? Why you poke him in his head all night, and as soon as he buck up at you, you call the police. That's a wound with no cause. Nobody did anything to you, but you knew how you can fix the issue on your hand. Read.
Come. Who have redness of eye?
Why do you have redness of eyes? Because you're crying. This is you putting on the scene. This is what we deal with typically in the Black and Hispanic neighborhoods, man. We deal with women who are whores who play the role, and then they put us in a jammed up situation. Right? Faking crying. Just like you do all the time. Boy, he hit me, knowing that we ain't hit you. This is what the wound without cause means. Babbling, talking too goddamn much, poke your hand in his head. All this has been talked about already in Proverbs 23 and 29. Just look at it, sis. I mean, you ain't first one who did this. This is something that's been happening for years. Any more? Read a little bit more on that.
It gets a little bit heavy if you want it. That's verse 30. It started to get a little heavy.
Go ahead.
Come, verse 30. They that tarry long at the wine, they that go to seek mixed wine.
Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me just look down. Don't worry about that. Good to go. I appreciate that. I appreciate that one too. You broke that down real good. You might as well go ahead and take one of these classes like that.
Right, sir. You know, hey, but I need you. Hey, I'm right here with you, sir.
I know.
This brotherhood right here. Hey,
look, I be trying not to miss classes because you know, me and you, we like Puff Daddy and Mace. Back when they had the Adidas outfits on back in the day. I be wanting to be with my rider.
Damn right, you know.
I could. This is the last. This is the last one. Give me Matthews 15:8. Yeah, give me Matthew 15:8. We're gonna end it with that. Go to 7. Go to 7.
Come. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 7. Ye hypocrites, well did
Esaias,
Salakia, prophecy of you saying.
Prophecy you saying. Go ahead.
Come, verse 8. This people draw nigh unto me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
What does that mean?
Salakia, sir, if I could, what this means is that everybody is a follower of Christ until it's time to do what these scriptures, what the law, statutes, and commandments say do.
Man, I'm telling you, next Monday I might just sit over there where you at, and you can just come over here.
I learned from the best, sir.
This is exactly what that means. These people are drawing near, but at the end of the day, they just doing it with their mouth. They just saying things. They saying things, but the heart means what? We know this.
Your mind.
You're not doing it when it comes to your mind. Your mind tells you what to do, how to do things. If you sit here and just saying it with your mouth and you're not doing it like you're supposed to do it, then you're not really doing it. You understand? Read.
Verse 9. But in vain.
But in what?
But in vain.
What does it mean to do things in vain?
Salakia, sir. It's like it's worthless.
It's to look good. It's like you're doing it. Vanity means I'm doing it to look good. I'm doing it so somebody can see me. This is what you're doing it in vain. You're doing it so people can see me doing it, but it don't mean anything because, like you said, because I'm not really doing it for you. I'm really doing it for me.
Start at 9. Book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 9. But in vain they do worship me.
Is that not the Christian church, man?
Come on.
Is that not the Christian pastor? Is that not the sister with the big ass hat on in the front seat? Is that not the LGBTQ brother that's sitting here praise dancing in the middle of the floor? Is that not these brothers that's doing this? They're not doing it for the Most High. They doing it for themselves. They doing it for their own vanity. They doing it to look good, man. Read.
Come on. Teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
The commandments of what?
The commandments of men.
What are some of the commandments of men?
Salakia, sir. Some of the commandments of men is like, you know, man-made laws, man-made instructions, you know, with no type of morality behind it. You know,
what's some of them? What are some commands that men men have? Because now let's think about it. Like we talking about one now. If one for happen tomorrow. There's a commandment of men right now that says if you don't give your wife flowers, a car, a brand new car, even though nigga you can't even pay for the car you got right now. If you don't give her a car, some flowers, if you don't take off work tomorrow to make her some breakfast, then you're not in it. You're not into the in crowd. You're not part of us. That's a commandment of man. But Slocky, go ahead.
No, that you hit that right on head. Along with, you know, you got to respect the LGBTQI, RST, VWXYZ community.
Good night.
You know,
my body, my choice.
My body, my choice.
My body,
you know, you have to respect abortion. And
here's my thing: my body, my choice. You tell me something. If it's your body, your choice, right? Which it sounds good when you say it. But why don't that child have his body and his choice, or her body and her choice? You the only one who gets your body and your choice. You an adult. You get a chance to make a decision. You make a bad decision, and it's your body and your choice, and you're gonna knock down. You're gonna kill this child who didn't have a choice to have their body and their choice. How does that make sense, man? That don't make sense to me. Make it make sense to me. It's my body, my choice. You know what your body and your choice should have been? It should have been not open your damn legs.
That's right.
That should have been your body and your choice.
That's
you
right.
shouldn't open your legs. You shouldn't have let the brother go and do whatever he wanted to do to you because you was in despicable mode. You probably had way too many drinks and you was being wicked as hell. And then as soon as you have to deal with the persecution of somebody saying, "Oh, you got pregnant." Oh, who got you pregnant? Now you have to pay for the deed that you've done, and the way you pay for it is by killing a helpless baby that had nothing to do with your wickedness and your foulness, man. It's your body and your choice. What about this baby's body and his choice?
Right.
Does this baby have should he have the opportunity to live? Why should you make that decision when we already know that you make bad decisions? You made the bad decision of having them.
Right.
Of being conceived. You made bad decisions already. Why do you have to make the decision of one more bad decision to kill this baby, man?
Right.
And you just out of order for that one, man. Slocky, go ahead.
That you want verse 10?
Mm-hmm.
Come, verse 10. And he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand.
Why did he say hear and understand?
So like it, sir, because listen to what I'm saying to you. Don't just look at the words. Don't just look at my mouth moving. Listen, put this in your mind. Listen to what I'm saying. Analyze this as I'm saying. Make sure you're paying attention.
And another thing I always say, because I'm a manager over production, so a lot of times I get supervisors in, and I say this, I say, yeah, you know, we tell them what they're supposed to do, but some people can't retain it. Some people can't hold what I'm telling them to do. It go what the old folks would say, go in one ear and out the other. Sometimes it goes in one ear and straight out the other. This is saying not only listen to what I'm saying, retain it. Understand what I'm saying. Read.
Come, verse 11. not that which goeth into the mouth.
You gonna jam me up with this one? Okay, I'll break it down. Go ahead.
Come. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which.
Stop right there. Now, because y'all have been raised by the Christian pastor, y'all gonna say that this is saying that you can eat whatever the hell you want to eat. You can eat shrimp, pork, crab, lobster, because it's not what goes into your mouth that defiles you. It ain't what you eat, because that's what the Christian pastor has taught you, that it's not what you eat. But this is not what this is saying. Keep reading.
Come. But that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man.
So you telling me that if it ain't what goes into the mouth, but if I throw it up, because now this was coming out of the mouth, right? This is what the Christian pastor give you the concept of everything. This all is physical. This is a physical thing. It's not what goes into the mouth. So it ain't what I indigest. It's what I throw up that defiled me. So if I throw up, I defile. This is what it sounds like to me. Go ahead.
So like it, sir, if I could, for the Christian church, I thought it was you are what you eat.
I've heard that too. So
I mean, Salakia, I thought it was you are what you eat. So, you know, if you love pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, which is unclean food, then you saying you an unclean person? I mean,
well, here's my thing about this scripture. The only thing that Christians talk about is the part that goes in. Nobody talks about the part that goes out. So what does the part that goes out mean? What like, if this was so rhetorical, not rhetorical, if it was so carnal of if I'm eating something, it what defiles me versus what is the going out? Is it throwing up? What is it? So
it has to be you throwing up, because it has to be if we looking at it the way they look at it, it has to be you throwing it up. It wasn't good.
So you telling me when it went in, it wasn't defiled, but if it goes out, if I throw it up, it's defiled? This is why it doesn't make sense. Sometimes I realize that the Christian pastor has gained you. This is talking about what you present, how you speak, the things you say to people. This is not talking about what you eat. It's not talking about what you eat and what comes back out if you eat it. This is just not talking about that.
That's right.
And you know, like I said, the Christian pastor has gamed us so bad to think that these types of scriptures, if anybody who is smart enough to understand simplicity, there's no way you can think that this scripture says that you can eat pig, shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster, because what does what comes out mean? That means you can throw it up and you defile. If you throw up shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster, you defile. But if you eat it, you good. Doesn't make sense. This is absolutely talking about what you say to people, the things that you say to people. You understand what like? It's not about. And then this was a breakdown to the Pharisees and Sadducees, because they asked him about eating without washing his hands. And the brother was just saying, like, look, it ain't about what goes in. You know what I'm saying? It's about how you represent yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just here. And you brothers and sisters, if you don't understand some of these scriptures, come into the Isupk, come to class, come and understand what Blacks and Hispanics are supposed to be in this culture, and understand that it's about to get real reckless. You don't have that much time left. And until we start to come together the way that Zephaniah 2:1 says, you know, Christ will not return and we will not benefit off of it. Until then, come to class, man.
That's right.
With that, pass class over to priest and officer 500. Car. Clap it up.
Shalom. It's that time again, Israel. It's the Lord's 54th annual Passover in North Carolina. to do. Y'all know what we came to do. Huh?
The ISUPK under Commander General Yohana will be hosting the Lord's 54th annual Passover in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Convention Center. This is something that you do not want to miss. Make sure that y'all bring the entire family.
Wait till I get richer. If I gotta go to ground, I'ma shut the town down. I ain't about to stop until I hear stand down. All you gonna see is a lot of man down.
The Downtown Raleigh Convention Center. For blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Go to isupk.com to purchase your tickets today. $200 per every adult over the age of 17 years old.
We are not the same. No, we not related. I'm not stuck on living. Death is a vacation. My camp undefeated. You cannot debate it. You just want the clout.
The Lord, 54th annual Passover, April the 1st, is coming down to Raleigh, North Carolina. That's right. Commander General Yohana has done it again. You don't want to miss this. Pull yourself.